So hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today is a little bit of talking video. Today is again a video of Rambles with Romina, and today I will be talking about heartbreak. I think I already made a video of like how to get over your ex or something like that, but today is really like getting a different perspective on a breakup, on heartbreak, gaining some insights maybe, and also how to get over your ex but on the long term, because I think a lot of people want results really fast, and I don't think that a rebound is the best solution. Oh, this will be ways of gaining a new perspective on heartbreak, and also how to get over your ex but really get over them. Not I think I'm over them because I'm pushing all the feelings away. First thing that I wanna say is it's okay to miss someone. I think a lot of people, they want to not miss a person, but I think that is just not possible, especially if they had like a very big meaning in your life and you were together for a really long time and you really loved them. It is okay to miss someone, and I think it is really good to sit with that feeling of I miss that person. But the second thing I want to say, it's not because you miss a person that you have to do something with that feeling. I don't think because you miss someone that is your soulmate. I think after a heartbreak, after a breakup, if you really loved somebody, that it is normal to miss someone, but it doesn't mean that they're like your person. I think if you really miss someone, you should write about it in your notes, maybe in a journal, but don't contact them. I have a feeling, I believe that I'm always right where I need to be. Like, I'm very spiritual, I believe in the universe, and I believe that I'm always right where I need to be. And I also believe that if you are really meant to be with a person, you will meet them in the most random way. But it doesn't mean that you have to contact them. Please don't contact them. It doesn't say anything. If you miss a person, that really doesn't mean anything. Like, it is you missing a person because they were like a big part of your life, they were in your daily routine, but it doesn't mean that they're your person. So I try to sit with that feeling and acknowledge it, like, okay, right now I'm missing that person. Let's say you see something that reminds you of them, or you smell something that reminds you of them, and then you miss them. That's okay. Like, it's okay to miss someone, but it doesn't mean that you have to contact them. Like, you can miss someone in silence, and you have like, after somebody leaves, you have like this gap, like this hole in your chest, and you feel like it's empty and you want to fill it up with things. And that's why after a breakup, a lot of people go drink a lot, go to clubbing a lot, they go to other people, they have rebounds, whatever. But in the end of the day, if you come at home and you are alone in your bed, that feeling is still gonna be there. So in my opinion, it is the most fastest way to just sit with the feeling, and then instead of like really negative coping mechanism like going out, doing drugs or whatever. Just sit with the feelings, be alone, learn how to be alone, and really focus on yourself. Take this period of time really for yourself, like just be inspired again. You have all this time for yourself, because most of the time a partner is a lot of time in your life, like it takes up a lot of time. So my psychologist really said, like, just be with yourself, like learn how to set boundaries again in friendships, learn how to know yourself, because I think if you want to get into a new relationship, but that's for another video, I think there are a lot of things that you have to do before you are healed and before you can get close with somebody else again. And the first step is really getting to know yourself, learning how to love yourself, be creative, do new hobbies, go out with friends, but not in a way like to run away from your feelings. I'm not saying that you have to be alone 24/7, because that's also not good, like that's isolating yourself. You have to find like this balance in going out but also sitting with your feelings, that it is like not going out in a way of like I'm running away from everything because I don't want to feel anything, but it's just like now I want to go out because I feel like it, and I have a feeling that this is gonna do good to me, if that makes sense. Then the next thing that I think a lot of people don't understand, I think a lot of people, they think that they were like in love, but they were actually just attached. And I think the difference is really important, because if you were really in love, then you have to heal really like a heartbreak. You have to heal really what a person did to you, like the fact that you're missing them as a person, like them and all their weird things and habits and just everything, like their smell and stuff like that. Like that's really loving a person. But I think a lot of people, they love the idea of a relationship, and they are like in love with the feeling that that person gives them, with how they feel around them, but they're not in love with that person. And I think that is a very big difference, because if you are attached to somebody and you're more in love with a relationship than with that person itself, then it's even more important to take time of yourself. I think most of the time it comes from trauma in the childhood. If you are so attached to people that you can just move on to the next, because you are just replacing that feeling of feeling loved and feeling wanted, and you are getting into another relationship with somebody just to fill up that feeling, and not because you miss your ex, but more like you miss a relationship. Then I'm again saying you have to learn how to be alone. You have to learn how to not be in a relationship, because a lot of people, they move on from one to the next and to the next and to the next, and they never actually fall in love with the person. They just like the feeling of being in a relationship, and they like the feeling of being loved, wanted, and everything else. And that's why some people can move on really fast, because they just replace that feeling, they don't replace that person. So if that is what you do, and you think, now you listen to me and you think like, oh, maybe I was never in love with my ex, I was just in love with the feeling, learn how to love yourself first before you get into a relationship. Learn how to be alone, sit with your emotions, and really be alone for months. I think that is the best cure, because I myself was also attached to my first ex in a really unhealthy way, and I was single after that for 2.5 years, and that really cured me, because I was not dependent on someone anymore. I was not attached to someone. I didn't have a favorite person anymore, because I was my own favorite person. I learned, I got to know myself better. I sit with myself, with my feelings. I learned how to be alone, and I think that is really like a very big part in the healing journey. If you are just attached and in love with like the idea of a relationship, if that makes sense. If you were really in love with that person, and because of who they were, and you miss that person, and you don't just miss a person, but you really miss them, then I think it is important to think about the good memories, like being grateful of the fact that you had them in your life, even if to experience these beautiful memories with them. And I also believe that better is always coming in. Like, I believe if a person goes out, like they remove it from your life, like that person, that better is coming and the universe has something better for you. And I think then it's again important to focus on the negative things in a relationship. Like, I think after some time people get very nostalgic and they only remember the good things, and I think it's important to remember the bad things. I made like a whole list in my phone of like all the bad stuff from the relationship, because I always have that feeling of being nostalgic and missing that person and missing the good memories, but I forget that there were like way more bad memories than good ones. So I made a list and I read them when I have that feeling, and that makes me like, I put myself onto the ground again, because then I'm like high in the sky. I'm like, oh no, when I miss them, maybe I had such good memories, and then I read that list and I'm like, oh no, wait, now I remember why they're not in my life anymore. So I think that's also a very good tip that I can give you. Like, make this list and read it, please, when you have a feeling like, oh no, I miss them. I think those were like all the things that I wanted to say. Like, learn how to be alone, sit with your emotions, think about, was I attached, was I in love, make that list of like all the negative things about the relationship, go into no context so you can take like a different perspective on a relationship. Try to write in a journal or in your notes about how you feel, because I think that's a really important way of like understanding your feelings. If you really are so deep, please talk to someone like a psychologist or somebody else, because I think talking really helps about the situation, really helps with understanding your own feelings, but also understand where it comes from. So I think talking with friends, or maybe seek like help, like actual help from a therapist or something, I think that's also really important, because they can give you the insights that you don't have because you are into a situation and they're like out of it. Then again, it's okay to miss somebody. It doesn't mean because you miss somebody that they're meant to be in your life, and always try to see the positive in things. Like, a person being removed from your life can also mean a really good thing, that better is coming and that you have to focus on yourself. And I also think that every big life change is an opportunity to work on yourself, to heal and to get better and to gain new perspective, new insights. And I'm actually very grateful for my breakup, because I am so much happier, but I also learned how to love myself more, and I just learned so much about myself that I didn't know. And I'm really grateful to got that experience, because I was really in love and I do miss that person, but I only miss the good memories, and I miss him as a person, and I know that he doesn't miss me as a person, he just misses a person. That's why he's like moving on so easily. But I know that one day it will hit them, and I think this, if you're watching this and your ex also moved on pretty fast, trust me, they're not over you. People can pretend that they are, they go on to the next. They have this, they can really feel like I am over them, but trust me, running to the next person is not gonna make it better. It's better to take your time for yourself, sit with those emotions, don't try to fill up that hole with negative things. Really sit with it, and the feeling is gonna weigh after some time, but it's also never ever gonna come back. And I have a feeling that with people that move on really fast, after 1 year, 2 years, they always come back. My phone is falling. They always come back because they never sat with that feeling. So I think it's okay to miss somebody, to miss a person, to miss their habits, to miss their smell, but it doesn't mean that they're their person. And I think it's really important to say that in your head, like, it's not because I miss them that they were my person, and better is coming. Always believe that better is coming, because it is. It really is, I promise you. This was the video. I hope you learned something. I hope you liked it. If you have questions, or I don't know, you wanna ask me something, feel free to ask in the comments. And I I'm sending like love and hugs to people that are now in heartbreak, because I know that it's not easy. But take this time for yourself. Take this opportunity to get to know yourself better. And I believe that all the love that you spread into the universe will always come back